Here's my review of Backwoods original all natural leaf wrapper. There's no flavorings to this. I used to smoke these almost 30 years ago when I was a house painter. And this was the Good Break cigar, the cheroot. And I remember it being just a very tasty, inexpensive little cigar. Just enough for, half an hour lunch break. Eat and smoke, right? So let's see, let's get this open. There's the trick right there. You don't tear on the dotted line, you tear below the dotted line. Oh, so didn't have the sealable packet. See the seal there? See the seal? These just used to like tear the end and fold it over. So look, you don't have to cut them. There's the smoking end, there's the lighting end. That's a natural leaf wrapper too. I mean, this cost $7.95, I think, plus tax. You get, how many of them? 5, you get 5, see? 5. And doesn't make pretty cigars. We don't make pretty cigars, but we make the best cigars we can. Aged broadleaf wrappers for a natural sweet flavor and a dark Maduro color. Then that's wrapped around carefully selected tobacco leaves for its mellow aroma and gentle taste. No paper wrapper, right? So these, they aged the tobacco for years, according to Backwoods. So let's get it lit here. You ready? I've been smoking a lot of decent cigars and some pretty expensive ones. Not the most expensive. I won't lay down that kind of money for anything. But I've been smoking a lot of pipes and playing around with pipe leaf and playing around with tobacco leaf and actually putting the Dominican leaf in with some, and that's almost an organic leaf. It doesn't have that horrible radioactive fertilizer that they put in American tobaccos. And then I've been mixing that down with a Virginia that's organic with none of that horrible radioactive fertilizer. So let's see, a good cheap cigar. I mean, this would have been called a nickel cigar back when I was a kid. So let's try it. Aha. Get that edge, get the whole thing lit. The trick to cigars is you got to get the whole end lit. There's not much of a hit, like a hit with this, a flavor hit. It's just a good cheap cigar. I haven't checked out the nicotine content yet. Probably lower in nicotine because, the higher nicotine tobacco leaf costs more. Those are the top leaves. These are from the bottom, I'm sure. Lower nicotine, not as much flavor, but sometimes it's good just to have a smoke, isn't it? That's what this is. This is a smoke. I feel it. I feel the tobacco in there. I taste it. It's not a very powerful flavor at all, but I taste that I'm smoking. If you can understand that, I can taste it. I smoked a cigarette without inhaling yesterday with the youngest son, Mike, and this is a little bit more than that. The cigarette just didn't have any flavor for me at all. I do that once a year just to see how it tastes. The other thing, that I've been told by tobacco aficionados and cigar aficionados is that the darker wrap is milder and the lighter wrap has more of a punch. And look at how dark this wrap is. See? And here's something else about cigars. You don't flick that off. It's not like a cigarette. You want to keep that on there. That keeps the whole coal burning evenly. And you don't get those edges that burn this way. Keeps it fairly even. So this is the before and during, the first part of the smoke. I'm going to stop the tape and bring it back in a little bit when we're about halfway and give you my observations. Look, we're about a third of the way through. See that long ash? This is when I flick it. Ready? See how even that is? Now, some of you know, I've shared it with you, I can't smoke every day. If I do, the tobacco, the nicotine gets to me. I can maybe do it every other day, but better if I do it every third day, right? So, anyhow, this is starting to get a cumulative effect because the low nicotine is being filtered out by this tobacco. It's starting to taste flavorful. You know, I didn't notice this 20 some years ago. I wasn't even looking for that. I wasn't analyzing. Oh, by the way, the heater, the outdoor space heater, because we're in Colorado after all, aren't we? America. It's a great place to live. It's getting flavorful. I'm starting to, right there, starting to taste what the big cigars give you on that first hit. I was saying this is a great break cigar, but I got phlegm caught in my throat. So I thought I'd refilm this because production integrity and production value is everything, isn't it? The other nice thing about this is you don't have to cut it. Every other cigar I get, you have to cut the end, right? I'm not going to try probably any of the other convenience store cigars because this is the one I know is the best. So why look for any other? How are we? Halfway at least. That tobacco buildup, the nicotine buildup of the filtering of the tobacco leaf is really starting to work, getting flavor. Not a harsh, not a harsh flavor. You know, I ate a sandwich a little while ago, and I am just like being interfered with this sandwich. But this sure is a nice cigar. About halfway. I don't have to light it again. About halfway, I would think. I thought it was going to be a hard draw, but it's a sufficient draw. It's not a hard draw. I grabbed a bunch of little cigarillos, and man, I'll tell you, cheroots, and I have to cut half of them off. I got like 50 of them for whatever, but they were the rejects. Backwoods, this is what I remember. Decent draw. Not too much, not too bad. And the flavor keeps developing. I'm getting that good cigar roundness. Kind of a, if I could say this, a syrupy tobacco feel on toward the back of my tongue on the sides that I get with regular cigars, the big ones. So this will take you into a good zone. On the rehill, look, see that ash? I'm trying to keep it on there. On the rehill. Very, very flavorful. Mild and flavorful. An amazing rehill in this. I really like it. There's no hint of harshness. There's no hint of bitterness or acidity. It's just right. So this takes me back to my nuke power plant story. I was a temporary, I was in the maintenance department at a nuke power plant, an assistant, working all kinds of hours. And the cigarette smokers would go out and they give them 15 minutes for a break. Well, they told them 10 and they take 15. And I went out and took the break, but I wasn't smoking. The plant manager showed up, not the big guy, but the shift plant manager. What are you doing out here? I said, I'm taking a smoke break. Now, this was a union job, mind you. And he said, but you aren't smoking. What are you doing out here? I said, if you want me to start smoking to be able to take my smoke break, I'm going to need a letter that you want me to start smoking cigarettes. He scratched his head. He couldn't figure it out because he was management and he's also dealing with the union. And I know where the union could take this. So that's my funny story. But you know what I would say? If I ever took that job again, now this was when I was in my, 30s, 40s. If I ever took that job again, I'd bring these. And that would have them all flummoxed. I don't know if they would allow these through the x-ray, though. Because it was, like going TSA to get a nuke plant. It always has been. Very secure. I suppose I would have to bring in 2 packs and leave 1 pack for the guards, the security guards. That would be okay, wouldn't it? So we're getting near the end here, folks. Yeah, we're near the end. I think that's enough. I think it's enough. I enjoyed it. Great rehill. I mean, for those who can't do a rehill because it's too harsh, you could do a rehill in one of these. It's very mild, enjoyable, incredibly flavorful rehill. Get a little hard to draw, get a little soggy, and I'm sure some of the moisture from the tobacco itself. And look, I'm starting to flatten it too. I don't know if you see that. So let's do this. This is the old guy signing off for my Backwoods original natural flavor. I just don't like the flavored. I never did. I don't like barbecue chips either. My chips have got to be plain potato chips, no flavors. And so that's how I am with my tobacco. So this is the old guy, Bill Romansky, signing off and saying, God bless you. You have a wonderful day.